Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to World in Conflict. No, I'm not going to be playing through the game for the 50th time. However, I wanted to sort of make this video showcasing, in my opinion, the best RTS mission in any RTS game ever. It's just so iconic. Every time I think of any RTS, I immediately think of this mission. And the trailer that was sort of focused around this mission that came out for this game, I had to take out the audio and replace it with my own music because it is super copyrighted. But I'll link the original trailer in the description of this video. And it got me pumped up every single time to go back into this game and playing as the Americans trying to fight off Soviet Spetsnaz in and around New York, including trying to save the Statue of Liberty. Hope you guys enjoy. Cheers.
Parker, they're using our own captured launchers against us. Locate and destroy them before they become a problem.
Alright, let's take out these rocket launchers, because they're going to be really annoying for the guys on the beach here. But as you could hear in the intro, so Spetsnaz landed here near New York. You can see the World Trade Center in the back there. We got Statue of Liberty. They actually landed here and captured a ton of U.S. equipment, which is actually what we're facing and dealing with here. So they got some MLRSs. We'll just take those out. I guess, you know, if we can't have them, the enemy can't have them. So we dealt with that secondary objective. They're now good. Once we captured this island, or when we support our allies capturing the island, we'll be able to call in some additional helicopters, including some repair vehicles as well. Let's deal with these. They captured some of our Amtrak vehicles here, but we can deal with them. Kind of a little bit danger close there, but, you know, took them out. We're all good. Some light infantry showing up. Little trick here, if you force fire on the ground with the HE rockets, you do a lot more damage to the enemy infantry. Something I learned pretty damn fast in multiplayer in this game, where people always spam your infantry by force attacking the ground, but it was a really effective way of getting rid of infantry, and especially en masse or in forests, because otherwise the helicopters in this game only use their chain guns. And though 30mm chain guns are pretty effective, they don't seem to be doing as much of a good as a job as you'd want to. So it makes a lot more sense to use attack ground button. But it's been something that really, I guess, you know, this tip, if you've ever played this game, I guess this tip comes probably about a decade too late. I believe this game came out in 2007 or 8. Obviously, it's, you know, close to 2020 right now, but I think the game still really holds up, especially when you look at the graphical fidelity of this game. I mean, obviously, that doesn't look that good, but it's more of a background image, but in general, this game still looks really good, and I gotta say, I love zooming in this game and just checking out stuff on the ground level. If you get close enough to the helicopters, the pilots will even start conversing. You can listen in their comms. It's just, there's some really cool details in this game. We are dealing with some Abrams right here. I'm not really sure how they're, you know, it's just a ton of Abrams on the island just off of New York. I'd assume that wasn't really a great, you know, use of resources, whoever thought that up, but they're here and we need to deal with them nonetheless. Now, the thing is, the only units that can actually deal effectively with helicopters would be regular infantry. They are armed with an anti-air launcher, and obviously medium and heavy anti-aircraft. Some other units can shoot at helicopters, mainly APCs, machine gun bunkers, but they're not as effective. So usually it just comes down to watching out for AA. I believe this mission is, I believe this actually was one of the tutorial missions of this game, or one of the demos, if I'm not wrong. I do recall the video that actually went kind of viral, if you can say viral, back in, like, you know, 2007, 8. I don't know, I guess it went viral on, like, MySpace. Rest in peace. Was the invasion video, which you saw here. I showed you the intro of, but the thing is, I couldn't put any of the audio in there because it's got a copyrighted soundtrack in there. But it's a really cool, sort of intro cutscene to this mission, and it was really cool to see that. And I think that was one of the advertisements for this game, one of the ones that, like I said, went in between brackets viral. It was really, really cool. Just such a shame that you know, it's copyrighted, but oh, we just kind of missed that a little bit. That one's down. We'll triple spam this with the, ooh, look at that, Hellfire taking that out. And let's move to the left. We do have to get, actually, never mind. So there's a couple different veterancy levels. You got regular, then you got this is the second level, and then you get lieutenant, captain, and we have... Oh, they're landing over here? What the hell? That's interesting. I don't know why they decided to do that, but... Starting off with lieutenant, from lieutenant onward, your units, in this case obviously helicopters, they'll actually start to heal over time, but they're not in combat, which is really nice because it gives you a little bit... Basically an ability to not have to worry too much about dealing with repairs, etc. There's a ton of anti-air stuff actually incoming right here. Little bit afraid of getting anti-air to death if I don't watch out. Hellfire out, take out that tank. Health is still in order. It's keeping an eye on that every like other second or so. Also higher the veterancy, the faster the cooldown on the Hellfire and the flares. Now I don't really have to drop flares, I just did it to showcase it, but as long as we're not dealing with any heavy anti-air or infantry in a position I don't have to worry about it too much. We have some artillery coming in here. Oh, we need to watch out here. We need to watch out. Okay, we took out one of the medium AAs, but there's still another one. Taking out one of my helicopters, we're good for right now. Missile away.
Don't forget to repair your choppers
Okay.
at Ellis Island, Lieutenant.
We should have helped them now set up a position. So basically you got these green circles, and in multiplayer and single player, the green circles were areas that you could capture. There were areas of importance, and if you kept friendly units inside of these circles, they would basically start building fortifications. So you got anti-tank fortifications, machine gun fortifications, and now we're just waiting for them to fortify this area. Oh, there we go.
Beachhead has been secured. We can start bringing in more troops. Batteries.
This is what probably was my favorite part about this game.
I want you to airlift a repair vehicle.
Was the tactical aid. From napalm strikes to tank busters to airstrikes. Basically, this tactical support you could call in, and sometimes it was lethal, like here you got tons of lethal stuff. Sometimes it was more focused on calling in paratroopers or calling in other vehicles or light tanks, just to try and get you situated around the map. Let's get a cluster coming in right there. And it went all the way up to an actual tactical nuclear missile, which is probably one of the cooler things in the game. So here we come in with a airstrike. It's going to be cluster. There it is, dropped by an F-15 it looks like, and that's all gone. Alright, sweet. Now let's deal with the guys up front, who are still driving a ton of our equipment. And I should state, I'm very surprised there is this much equipment on an island just off of the coast of New York City, but you know, let's just believe that's true. Alright, here we go, and clusters away. Doesn't get old. Napalm in the background. Doesn't get old. This game just looks still... I keep saying this, but it still looks really, really good. Like, we can go all the way to ground level here. And the frames don't even get touched. I mean, even back in the day when I had a relatively bad computer, especially, you know, comparing what I have now, the frames stayed pretty much up. I mean, even looking in situations like that, frames would always stay pretty good. Mean helicopter has been taken care of. We're dealing with another medium anti-air who is now down.
How many vehicles did we have stationed here?
Okay, there is an Abrams. We'll take him out. And we have basically every helicopter at star level now. We have 2 captains and the rest are all generals.
They were oversupplied and undermanned.
Let's see,
here.
we need to
It sure is
get
making our job a lot harder.
an airstrike. We did an artillery strike on this building. We'll have these guys heal off of the side for a little bit. And then we'll get the precision artillery strike to destroy that building for us. Here it comes. And there we go. I also love how almost every building is just full-on destructible. And they all have destructed models as well. So you could basically... certain maps, like there's a map on Seattle's seaboard, you could basically destroy every single building there. So, you know, it would turn from into this beautiful city into basically Stalingrad 2.0. Really cool. It's flanky diddle spanky, which one down. And then we have this one coming down in just a second. We'll take out the Bradleys, which were captured. You can see they are actually capable of firing back at us. There goes that launcher.
Order the strike.
But it's the Statue of Liberty, sir.
And this is war, son. Do it.
Eagle 6 says we are go mission. I repeat, we are go mission. They're on their way, sir.
Good. Now get me Lieutenant Parker.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Mission
let's
update,
these
Parker.
choppers out of here before they get
Russian
shot down.
soldiers have fortified themselves on Liberty Island, and they're preparing to release a chemical agent over Manhattan within the hour. I've already ordered a massive airstrike on them, but we must try to save the statue. I want you to root out those Spetsnaz vermin before it's too late. The Russians are demanding...
Probably one of the more iconic
Allied forces from Europe.
missions here
And of course,
in this game to
that
me
won't
was this
happen.
one.
If we have to choose between the statue and saving civilian lives, we'll choose civilian
We're gonna have
lives.
to take out
But I don't want to have to make
Soviets
that
on
choice.
the island with the
Don't let
Statue
me
of Liberty
down,
on
Parker.
it. If we
Eagle
don't,
6 out.
the airstrike will be here in just
Parker,
under 8
radar
minutes.
is picking up several enemy helicopters moving toward Liberty
And they
Island.
will
Wipe them out. Eagle
Nuke.
6 out.
Well, not nuke, but nuke in between brackets. They will destroy the Statue of Liberty if that's what saves New York. Now, the thing is, there's heavy anti-air right here, and a medium one next to it. So the really only way we're going to deal with this is if we charge it with 2, and we get our infrared ready, popping it. Okay, we did manage to take the heavy one down. There's 2 Apaches that were again also captured. I'm not really sure how many vehicles were stationed around here, but managed to take out 2 of or one of their heavy anti-air units.
Roger that. Nice man is in the pipe, armed and ready. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on, let's take them down. Different engagement here. We're going to take those down. We'll use our guns on them. You can see this doesn't really go very fast. Normally you would have to use medium helicopters to take them down pretty fast, but because my guys are a higher veterancy, they don't really have a lot of issues with it. I'll take down some more of their units right there. I think we even took down a heavy anti-air unit. We're going to have to hunt down this enemy Apache. It sounds kind of weird when you play as an American say enemy Apache, but it's the way it is. Only 6 minutes left to kill every hostile here, and trust me, there's a lot. We have to take out some of the AAs here before we get into too much trouble. We have to wait for this airstrike to hit. We only have 4.5 minutes left, actually less than that. Airstrike coming in will do a lot of damage. After the airstrikes, we can move in. Ooh, a lot of them are right there. Ooh, that really hurt. Okay, this is good. This is good. Get some light artillery on that. Light artillery is actually pretty damn useless unless you're actually dealing with unentrenched infantry, but since the buildings are so low health, we'll actually use the light artillery and we'll spam them down, and it'll hopefully destroy the buildings. You can see actually doing quite a lot of damage to these civilian buildings that are basically unreinforced. It would not really do any damage to a reinforced structure. We have less than 4 minutes left. There's still a few enemies on the island. We're trying to take them down as fast as possible. There's still a medium anti-air left right here. But it looks like we might have saved the Statue of Liberty once again. And I say once again because I've played this mission and obviously this objective probably about 1 billion times. It's such a good mission.
Tell them to abort, damn it!
This is Eagle 6. Abort! Abort! Abort!
Good work, Parker.
And there was the Strike Eagles. They are... Oh, look, we captured some of those harpoon launchers. About to get a massive airstrike on here. F-15 coming in, flying over here near... I guess these are C-17s, dropping friendly forces around. That's actually the way of units infilling in this game, is if you call on units that actually get deployed. Well, besides the helicopters, obviously, they can fly in themselves, but the ground units you call in all get deployed via aircraft like that, and they are basically airdropped in. You can see the parachutes right here. They get airdropped in. Let's get this Apache back to be replenished, or I guess repaired, and let's move around. There's so many targets over here. It's like a free candy store out here for the Apaches. Well, use the airstrike. Airstrike hits. 6. Looking for the Eagle. Oh, here it is. Oh, it just doesn't get old. I don't know if that's just me. This game still looks damn good for the time we're in right now. I think it still holds up pretty damn well. There's a medium AA. Let's take it out before it actually takes one of my choppers. Thank you. Good job. Now, there is still, again, I guess there's more Abrams on here than, you know, there was actually in Europe fighting, but let's just negate that real quick. Still have something shooting us. Never mind. That's down. Keep an eye on my health. For the helicopters, he's down. He's down. He's down. As you can see, the tactic of spamming the ground near infantry is still really effective. We actually have to go back and send our helicopters back for repair. So the nice thing is, whether or not this mission, the repair, are done by AI, but in you know, multiplayer or other missions where you had repair tanks actually automatically tend to repair units they're next to. Now they're repairing these pretty damn quick. There's only 2 left to repair. Well, there's one over here, so it gets repaired a little faster. And also the repair tanks have a veterancy. As you can see, there's our veterancy 1. But the higher veterancy on repair tanks, the more they can heal, and also they have a special ability to heal up a large chunk of health. And obviously, the higher veterancy of your repair tanks, the quicker this would reload. So the more often you could use that ability, which obviously was a very strong ability to have. If you had general level tanks or general level repair tanks, you could repair a bunch of heavily damaged units a lot faster. And I believe repairing units was one of the best ways of gaining tactical aid. The thing here in the top left that allows me to like deploy airstrikes and stuff, I believe that was the easiest way to receive a lot of tactical aid, or I guess the cheapest way or the fastest way. I guess all of those words sort of work. Now there's going to be friendly fire here if they're driving in with 2 Humvees, but I guess sacrifices are to be made, because here comes the F-15-1 and F-15 number 2 coming from different locations, destroying all the Soviet forces that are technically American forces, I suppose, but they're down nonetheless. And now we get to napalm this again, because, I mean, who doesn't like some napalm? Napalm coming in, and now we just have to secure the fort, which means there has to be friendlies in every circle. And they're leaving the circle again. God damn it, get in the circle, you bastards.
The fort is ours. My men will start.
Okay, we actually got in the circle. Now they have to start fortifying. As you can see, the longer units are in the circle, the faster or those green circles get built up, which is an anti-air, an anti-infantry, and an anti-tank fortification. Though, I believe with more units it goes faster, but usually you don't want to be too spread out or too spread amongst these points, because if you have, like, you know, 6 or 7 or more units on those points, they do tend to get targeted. And especially multiplayer, every, you know, not moving your helicopters for 1 second basically meant you were in trouble. You had to constantly move your helicopters, constantly move your vehicles, if you did not want to get, you know, struck down by an F-18 gun run or an SU-25 attack run, etc., etc. So you always had to be very much on point to try and support your teams with repairs and to keep your vehicles moving, whether you're air, ground. And come on, there we go, and there we go. That's why you'll definitely, even now, like, I haven't played this game in forever, and I still move my helicopters around a lot, because there is actually an anti-helicopter ability right here, which would take down every single helicopter, I believe up to 4 in the area. So, like, it's pretty damn big too. It's pretty damn big. So basically what you would do, you would try and force your opponent in multiplayer to put multiple helicopters in a fight. So you basically get your helicopters to go up towards theirs and start this fight, and then you would try and anticipate where the fight would be about a couple seconds earlier, so you could call in the anti-air strike and hope that you caught some of them unaware. But obviously they could do the exact same thing to you, so it was this dangerous game of cat and mouse trying to intercept enemy helicopters. You really had to play that like a smart person. You couldn't just willy-nilly move around your guys. You actually had to think about what you were doing. We had to go for a little bit of a repair there, but we have friendly forces pushing in. There is some infantry now in the area. We got precision artillery coming in. Never mind.
Thanks for your help, Lieutenant.
You've definitely earned your leave, Parker.
I remember that mission being a lot harder. I guess that in 12 years the mission maybe became easier.
Yes, Colonel?
However, I just really wanted to basically do a throwback to War and Conflicts. That's what we did. There may be another mission or two, especially because one of them really revolves around Christmas. For now, I hope you guys enjoyed the mission. I'd love to see you guys in the next one. Cheers.